Welcome to Son of a Glitch. Join us as we explore some of the internet's craziest glitch stories. Story 1. Here's my dumb little birthday glitch, expanded. Still boring in the no one's dying, no portals to Narnia way, but somehow it got under my skin. Also, fair warning, a little NSFW language because, adulthood. Birthdays don't come with hats and candles anymore, but they do come with swearing at freezer boxes like they're sentient. So, about a week ago was my birthday, and I've aged out of cake with frosting roses and people singing off-key at my kitchen table. The day of, my wife and I did the most adult, horned-up thing you can do on a Wednesday night. We went to the grocery store. Fluorescent lights, a cart with one fucked wheel, the whole romance novel. We're trolling past the ice cream aisle because I've decided my present to myself is cold sugar. And then I see them. These cones filled with fudge, the sleeves bragging about a shell made of Kit Kat wafers. I love Kit Kats in a way that's probably not legal in 3 countries, so I say, let's get these instead of a tub. Built-in portion control, and you can moan over your cone like a weirdo for several days. She snorts, says happy birthday, and tosses the box in the cart. We get home, eat actual food like responsible humans, and then pounce on dessert. We open the box, and I dump the individually wrapped cones onto the counter like a raccoon with a treasure hoard. The box says 8 total. For vanilla with fudge cores, for double chocolate. Only I count once, twice, and I get 7. For chocolate, 3 vanilla fudge. 1 missing, like it swan dived out of the box in the delivery truck, and is now living a better life under a pallet somewhere. I know, packages mess up, life goes on. I grumble. My wife offers to take them back, but we've already opened the box, and I refuse to be the guy who returns 7/8 of a good time. We shrug, unwrap too, and the world is briefly okay. We agree, quietly, because we're both the kind of people who keep snack ledgers in our heads, that will do 1 cone a day. Adults with discipline. Adults who absolutely will not sneak a cone at 2 a.m. and lie about it. Day 1, my birthday. I take a vanilla fudge, she takes a chocolate. We eat them like gremlins and watch trash TV. Day 2, we swap flavors, and that's when I realize the double chocolate is fine. It's chocolate on chocolate with extra chocolate, which sounds sexy, but compared to the crisp Kit Kat shell and that fudgy vein in the vanilla one, it's like kissing a mirror. Still chocolate, still good, but not the one you think about later. Day 3, I claim the remaining vanilla fudge like a dragon staking land. She takes a chocolate. Day 4, there should be 1 chocolate left. It is, admittedly, her flavor. I am mentally prepared to be a martyr. By the time the 4th evening rolls around, the box is in the freezer with a single cone rattling around inside like a loose tooth. I say, it's yours, because I'm a generous, loving husband, and also because the chocolate one now tastes like settling. She takes the box out. I don't watch her unwrap it, don't track its trajectory to her mouth. I'm at the sink filling a glass. She walks past me, already licking, making a cartoonish to rub it in. I make a dramatic complaint about unfair packaging and the capitalistic assault on birthdays. She tells me to stop being whiny and come sit down. 5 minutes later, I get up for ice. I open the freezer. There's the empty box, bottom shelf, smirking at me. I grab it with the petty righteousness of a man about to make a passive-aggressive point and pitch it in the recycling. Except there's weight. I look down. I open the flaps. Inside is a single wrapped cone. Not chocolate. Not plain. The kind I wanted. Vanilla with the fudge core. The missing cone. The 8th of 8, the one that never existed in this very kitchen. I just stand there with the fridge cold breathing on me. My wife looks over, sees me holding a cone like Hamlet staring at Yorick, and goes, "Where the hell did that come from?" "You tell me," I say. "You literally just finished the last one and tossed the box." She shrugs, frowns. I put it in the recycling. I glance over. The bin's open. It's empty. No box. The box is in my hand. The cone is in the box. My brain does a quick scan for rational explanations and comes up with 1. I miscounted 4 days in a row and also forgot how numbers work. 2. My wife bought a whole extra box to punk me and ate 7 cones in secret like a dessert assassin. 3. The Matrix got bored and decided my birthday deserved patch notes. We run through it out loud. Day 1, fudge for me, chocolate for her. Day 2, we swapped. Day 3, I ate the last vanilla fudge. Day 4, she ate the last chocolate. That made 7 total eaten. We both remember opening the box onto the counter the first night and counting 7. We both remember me moaning about cone inequality. We both remember each day's flavor roll call like it's our alibi in a small-town murder case. I toss the box, empty now, into the recycling because I need to do something that obeys physics. I peel the wrapper, sit down, and bite. The Kit Kat shell crackles, the fudge core gives in, the cold sweet hits the back of my throat, and I actually sigh. If I'm being real, I'm low-key turned on by a corporate dessert engineered to exploit every dopamine slot machine in my head. I close my eyes like some cone sommelier, and my wife throws a napkin at me. "Stop making it weird," she says, which is fair, because I'm probably doing too much. But it's not just a treat. It's a fucking puzzle with sprinkles. It's the kind of glitch that would be stupid if it were only me. Miscounting isn't a cosmic event, but it wasn't just me. She remembers the short box. She remembers the rotation. She remembers there being one left when she grabbed it, and not two, because if there had been a second, she'd have yelled, "Hey, your precious fudge is alive," just to lord it over me. We stand there trading statements like detectives and realize we're describing the exact same timeline, except for the part where the missing cone is now in my hand and melting over my fingers. We try more theories, increasingly unhinged. Maybe it's stuck inside the cardboard lip, and we didn't see it. Except I dumped them out onto the counter the first night like a slot machine payout, and counted with my actual eyeballs. Maybe she put the box back, forgot to eat the cone, and is gaslighting herself. Except I watched her eat the chocolate one, and roll her eyes at my fake sulk. Maybe a neighbor broke in, deposited a single cone like a dairy fairy, and left. Sure. We live in a gated cul-de-sac with a Ring camera and the world's nosiest cat. If someone came in to deliver me a pity cone, they deserve a medal and a therapist. We move from forensics to feelings. I'm not proud, but I keep thinking about the count. 4 days, 2 people, 1 a day, and the math checks out. 7 eaten, 1 never there. It's the clean, annoying logic of a vending machine taking your dollar, refusing to vend, and then 3 days later coughing up the Snickers on its own, like an apology you didn't ask for. Story 2. You ever lose something so completely that it feels like the universe is gaslighting you? Not like, "Oh, where are my socks?" but like, physics took the night off. That was me about 6 months back with my goddamn phone. And before anyone asks, no, I wasn't drunk, high, sleep-deprived, or horny texting a side piece. I was just cleaning my room, which is apparently all it takes for reality to flip me off. So here's how it starts. I'm in my bedroom, tidying up because it looked like a crime scene of laundry, mugs, and half-dead candles. I've been on the phone with my bestie, call her Tessa, for about an hour, gossiping about nothing. At some point I notice my phone's battery circling the drain. I'm not a let-it-die type, I'm obsessive about chargers. But I'm mid-rant, so I just keep it in my hand, pacing, stacking books, tossing socks into the hamper, setting Spotify on after we hang up. The usual. After the call ends, music's playing, and I'm being a domestic goddess. Then, right in the middle of folding shirts, the music cuts. Dead silence. I groan because, yep, the battery's toast. I put down the laundry, look at the table where I thought I left the charger, and nothing. Fine. I check the desk, the dresser, the bed. Nothing. I check under the bed, between couch cushions. Don't ask how my room has both. I live like a goblin queen. Still nothing. And listen, I had just cleaned. My floor was basically naked. If there was a black rectangle on it, I would have seen it. I even shake out the sheets like I'm exorcising them. Nada. At this point, I'm crawling around like a raccoon under the bed, muttering, "Where the fuck are you?" My cat's in the corner, staring like, "Bitch, you're embarrassing yourself." I even grab a flashlight to check under furniture, because maybe my phone suddenly grew legs and crawled into exile. After 20 minutes of tearing the room apart, I give up. It's dead, it's lost, maybe it'll turn up tomorrow wedged inside my bra or some shit. Fine. Whatever. I've got plans anyway. Tessa and I are meeting for drinks. So I throw on jeans, mascara, and grab my bag. As I'm locking the door, I realize, oh right, can't text her I'm on my way, because my phone's currently ghosting me. I roll my eyes, figure I'll just explain when I see her, and head outside. My car's parked in its usual crooked angle. I unlock it, throw my purse in the passenger seat, and there, sitting in the cup holder, my fucking phone. I freeze. You ever have one of those moments where your brain is like, nope, doesn't compute? That's me standing half in, half out of my car, staring at the cup holder like it sprouted a dick. Because here's the thing, I'd been using the phone in my bedroom less than an hour ago, talking to Tessa, then blasting Spotify while I folded laundry. In my room. Upstairs. and now it's sitting in the car's cup holder like it never left. I pick it up slowly like it might explode and press the button. Screen lights up. Not dead. Not even close to dead. Battery says 15%. Like, it had been sitting there chilling the whole time, sipping juice, waiting for me. I check the call log. Yup, Tessa, just like I remembered. Spotify app, still open. Everything exactly as if I had never moved it. I sit down in the driver's seat and just stare at it. My first thought is, did I somehow teleport it? Which is insane. My second thought is, did I sleepwalk it out here? Equally insane. My third thought is, maybe my cat's a wizard. Less insane than the first two. I call Tessa, because at this point, I need a witness. She answers all cheery. Bitch, where are you? And I go, okay, I need you to hear me out before you call me crazy. Then I explain everything. The phone dying, me searching the whole goddamn room, giving up, leaving, then finding it in the car with juice left. She's silent for a second, then goes, wait, you called me from your room, right? I heard you moving shit around. You weren't sitting in your car. I say, exactly. She pauses again and goes, girl, I don't like that. That's some glitch in the matrix bullshit. When I meet her at the bar, I show her the phone, sitting smug in the cup holder like it never pulled a disappearing act. She laughs, calls me cursed, and orders me a tequila shot to resync your reality. I take 3 because at this point, why not? We joke about it, but honestly, it stuck with me. I kept replaying it in my head that night, lying in bed. Me holding the phone in my bedroom, battery dropping, Spotify on. Me searching everywhere when it went silent. Then the absolute impossibility of finding it in the car. The phone wasn't just moved. It was moved back in time, like it had been in the car the whole evening. My call log didn't even hiccup. Memory edited, timeline patched, no continuity errors, except me. The creepiest part? The battery. Phones don't teleport, but batteries don't heal either. I remember it saying single digits when the music cut out. Yet when I found it, it was like the night never happened, still sitting at 15%. Like the whole phone in bedroom sequence was spliced into my brain, and then erased for everyone else. Story 3. So, a few months back my daughter and I decided to do something a little extra cheesy but sweet together. We went to this little boutique that does infinity bracelets. If you don't know what those are, picture a thin, delicate chain they literally weld closed on your wrist, so you can't take it off unless you cut it. The whole gimmick is forever. Cheesy as hell, but whatever, it was kind of a mom-daughter bonding thing. She's 16, in her super meticulous type A phase. Her planner has color-coded tabs. She can find a paper clip from 2 years ago if you ask. Basically, if I ever lose something, she's the one I hand the search warrant to. Anyway, she picks this dainty little silver chain, and I get one too. The boutique girl zaps it shut with her tiny torch. We giggle like idiots about being welded for life. And we go home. Flash forward a couple months. Her bracelet somehow snaps. Not supposed to happen. These things are meant to last until you deliberately cut them. But fine. Metal is metal. She keeps the chain because she wants to get it reattached eventually. She puts it in a little pouch and tucks it into her jacket pocket. Time passes. We're busy. She wears the jacket everywhere, the bracelet rattling in that pocket like a coin. Then one night we're at my son's baseball game, sitting on the bleachers. She digs in her pocket, pulls out the bracelet, and shows me. I still need to get this fixed, she says, holding up the tiny broken loop. I nod. She slides it back into the jacket pocket, pats it. Done. Except, when we get home later, it's gone. She checks her jacket. Nothing. She pulls the lining inside out. Nothing. I check the car, under the seats, in the grass by the bleachers. Nothing. She even checks the snack shack where she bought a soda. Nada. She's freaking out, because it's not just jewelry, it's our thing. And this kid doesn't lose things. She's meticulous, remember? So we both spend way too much time searching places it couldn't possibly be. Like the washing machine, even though the jacket never left her body. Nothing. Weeks pass. She sulks. I try to comfort her, but I'm secretly disappointed too. It felt like a little ritual we shared, and now it's just gone. We both kind of give up. She stops mentioning it. Life goes on. Then, here's where shit gets weird. I'm cleaning her room one afternoon, folding laundry, when I grab her jacket off the back of a chair. Something makes me think, check the pocket. Don't ask me why. I just do. I stick my hand inside, push around with my fingers. Smooth lining, nothing. I even turn it inside out, pinch the seams. Completely empty. Okay, no surprise there. I hang the jacket back up. Later that same evening, she comes home, shrugs on the jacket, and heads downstairs. A few minutes later she calls up, totally casual. Hey mom, look what I found. She holds up the bracelet. The same one. Tiny broken loop, chain intact. I swear to fucking God, she says she pulled it right out of that same jacket pocket. The same pocket I had just checked thoroughly an hour earlier. Not only checked, manhandled. Inside out, fingers pressed along the seam, flashlight shined into it like a detective. And she just pulls it out like it had been sitting there the whole time. I just stared at her. She's smirking, assuming she overlooked it, or I overlooked it. But I know what I did. I know the tactile feel of empty fabric. I know I had the damn jacket inside out. I tell her flat out, that thing wasn't in there. She shrugs and goes, well, it is now. Which is either the most teenage response ever, or the exact line you say when reality hiccups and drops your lost bracelet back into play like nothing happened. Here's the kicker, she doesn't even look relieved. She looks slightly weirded out, but then she just slips it on her dresser like, cool, thanks, universe. Meanwhile, I'm losing my shit quietly, replaying the whole timeline in my head. Jacket, bleachers, car, room, my empty search, her sudden reappearance. It doesn't add up. And it's not just about jewelry. It's about how sure we were. We had the conversation on the bleachers. I saw her hold it. I saw her tuck it away. I helped her search. We both grieved the loss. Weeks passed. We accepted the narrative. The bracelet was gone. Then snap, the narrative rewrote itself. Story 4. My brother swears he died in a house fire. Like not in a poetic, I almost died way. He swears he actually died, full stop, and somehow walked out of it anyway. The year was 5 winters ago. We lived in this old 2-story with a basement laundry room that always smelled faintly of mildew and burned lint. It was January, bitter cold, and my brother decided to plug in one of those sketchy space heaters to keep the basement warm while he did laundry. We all knew those things were fire hazards, but we also knew the house's heating was shit. It was one of those choices you make when you're cold and broke, comfort over caution. What I remember, smoke alarms shrieking at 3 a.m. What I remember, stumbling down the stairs, coughing, vision blurred, the kitchen filling with smoke like a nightclub fog machine. What I remember, my brother not being there. I remember yelling his name until my throat scraped raw. I remember standing outside in the snow with my mom, both of us barefoot, watching flames flicker orange in the basement window. I remember wondering if he'd made it out. Then suddenly he was just there, running up behind us, face pale, shirt half burned, hair stinking of smoke. Only that's not what he remembers. According to him, he never got out. He says he was in the laundry room when the heater sparked, flames licking up the walls faster than his brain could process. He says he tried the stairs, but they were already a tunnel of smoke, too hot to pass. He says he screamed, but the air scorched his lungs. He says the last thing he remembers was sinking to the floor, vision dimming, this insane, loud thought looping in his head. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. Then he says another voice, not his cut-in, cold and clinical, whispering, not here. Not like this. You'll live. Then, snap, he wakes up on a friend's couch across town. No smoke, no fire, no panic. His friend is handing him a soda, saying, you've been here all night. And apparently everyone else, mom, me, even the friend, backs that up. They all remember him spending the night there. They swear he wasn't home during the fire. His friend even texts him, later, a screenshot of their Discord chat that night, proof he was there. So according to everyone else, he wasn't in the house. But according to him, he died in it. He remembers the heat blistering his skin, remembers the taste of burning drywall, remembers collapsing, remembers that strange voice insisting he'd live. And me? I remember the fire, and I remember calling his name, and I remember nothing. There's this weird hole in my memory where his escape should be. I don't remember him running up to us. I don't remember seeing him alive until later, when the fire department had doused everything. Mom says she remembers him standing there shivering, beside us the whole time. But my brain's version of that night has a brother-shaped void. It's like 2 timelines got spliced together. In one he burns. In another, he's safe at his friend's. And we're stuck in the stitched-up version, each of us with mismatched memories, like bad edits in a movie. Story 5. My daughter's the kind of teenager who sets rules for herself that even I don't have the discipline to follow. She's 17, smart, and already decided she doesn't want to be one of those kids glued to TikTok at 3 a.m. So she keeps her phone charger across the room, on her dresser, a good 6 steps from the bed. She calls it friction. If she has to actually get up to plug her phone in, she won't scroll half the night. It's a system, and she's proud of it. So one night, I wander upstairs to her room. I've just sent her a text, something dumb like, "Don't forget the trash bins tomorrow." I push open her door. She's lounging in bed, hair in a bun, her phone resting by her pillow. She looks up at me and grins, already holding the screen out. Yeah, I saw it," she says. She even adds, "And look at this meme," showing me some TikTok screenshot about cats screaming at cucumbers. She taps it, snickers, sets the phone back down beside her. We chat for a minute, me leaning on the doorframe, her curled under the blanket. Just a normal exchange. Then I tell her good night, close the door, and start down the hall. That's when her ringtone goes off. I freeze. It's not coming from her bed. It's coming from her dresser across the room. I can hear it clear as day, muffled slightly by wood. She yells, "Dad, my phone's ringing." And I step back into her doorway. Sure enough, there it is, plugged into the charger, glowing. Exactly where she swears she left it earlier. I look back at the bed, half expecting to see a second phone sitting there like some magic trick. Nothing. Sheets rumpled, pillow indented, but no device. Just her staring at me with her eyebrows practically in her hairline. I walk over, pull the phone from the charging cable. Battery icon reads 42%. A text notification is on the screen. Same thread I'd sent earlier. The call log, the meme, everything else looks normal. Except my brain is screaming. I just saw this phone in her hand. I just watched her scroll. She's freaking out too. No, I had it here," she says, patting the mattress like she can summon it. "I showed you the meme. You were literally standing right there." I tell her gently but firmly, "Kiddo, your phone's been here the whole time. I heard it ring." She shakes her head. "Dad, don't mess with me. It was in bed. I replied to you in bed. I showed you the meme in bed." We argue for 5 minutes like lunatics. She's pointing at the pillow crease where the phone had supposedly been. I'm pointing at the neat little loop of the charging cable that hasn't moved. I even pull the charger forward to show her how the phone must have been there the whole time. She's insistent. I'm insistent. Then she says, "Check the messages." So I do. And sure enough, the last reply she sent me is time-stamped exactly when she showed me from bed. The meme link is there too. There's no gap. The conversation happened. Just where? She slumps back against the headboard, staring at me like I'm gaslighting her. I'm staring at her like maybe she's gaslighting me. And in that weird charged silence, the only thing I can think is, it doesn't feel like a mistake. It feels like a retcon. Like the phone didn't just move, it was always on the dresser. Like reality backfilled the whole scene, adjusted the memory tracks so everything lined up. Except somehow she and I both caught the edit. It rattled her more than she let on. After I left her room, I heard her pacing. Later I peeked back in, and she had chalk in her hand, literal chalk like a detective marking a crime scene. She drew tiny lines on the floor, one by her bed, one by the dresser. "So next time," she told me, "I'll know which version is real." She still keeps the charger across the room. Still forces herself to walk 6 steps before bed. But now she checks the chalk marks too, like she's daring the universe to try that again. Story 6. I work as a studio assistant for a wedding photographer who's brilliant, charismatic, and utterly chaotic. The kind of guy who can charm a bride's grandmother into tears with a candid portrait, but also loses his lens caps daily like they're cursed objects. My job is to be the opposite, meticulous, obsessive, borderline neurotic about workflow. Where he's art, I'm order. So on this particular Monday morning, I'm processing footage from a wedding we shot over the weekend. The photographer had shot stills, and we'd also captured video for the reception. Standard stuff, dual card cameras, redundancy settings. He runs his cameras, so both slots write the exact same files. That way, if one card corrupts, we've still got a perfect backup. Foolproof. Except this time, it wasn't. When I import, the photos are there. Both cards, no problem. But the video, the speeches, the dancing, the cake cutting, gone. Entirely missing. My stomach drops. This isn't the kind of mistake you bounce back from with an apology email. This is lawsuit level, ruin your reputation level missing. I retrace every step. I reinsert both cards into the camera, check slot 1, check slot 2. Both are empty of video files. Only photos. I call the photographer over. He's groggy, sipping cold coffee, but even he knows the stakes. He peers into the slots, shakes his head. Weird. They should both be there. We both shrug, trying not to panic. I check again, empty. He checks again, empty. His wife even checks. She's not techie, but she knows how to push the little spring slot and pull a card. Empty. 3 witnesses, 3 verifications. No video anywhere. We start texting the second shooter, praying he grabbed backup footage. He did, but not everything. There's still a gap. My boss starts swearing under his breath, pacing. I start running through the logistics of how we'll explain to the couple that their father of the bride toast is gone forever. Then, hours later, I reinsert one of the cameras into the docking station to clean gear, and notice the slot isn't empty anymore. There's a card sitting flush inside, blinking its little LED like it's always been there. I pull it out, my hand's actually shaking. It looks exactly like the other cards. Same brand, same storage size. But when I load it, the contents aren't duplicates. It's video. Only video. No photos at all. Perfect footage of the missing speeches, the cake cutting, the whole 9 yards. Now the math doesn't work. We started with 2 cards, both dual writing photos. At every step, everyone checked the slots and confirmed they were empty. But suddenly we have 3 cards, 2 with photos, 1 with video. A camera with only 2 physical slots somehow produced 3 unique cards, one of which was invisible until it wasn't. I don't even know how to explain it. This camera isn't set up to split media across cards. It doesn't even have that option enabled. Redundancy mode is redundancy mode. Theoretically impossible for photos to go to one card and video to another. The photographer shrugs like, cool, problem solved, but I can't stop staring at the trio laid out on my desk. 2 and 1. 3 where there should only be 2. It feels like holding evidence of a crime against physics. And here's the thing, this isn't even the first weird anomaly in that house. Their Google Calendar once shifted every appointment by exactly 3 hours, no explanation. Her contacts list lost 3 names overnight, names that no one in the house could even remember until they looked back at old texts. Netflix once logged them out and created a new profile under a name neither of them had ever typed. Little things, but too many to ignore. So I add the phantom card to the corkboard in my brain where all the red threads connect. And I start asking myself, do I tell the client? Do I admit their wedding videos came from a card that shouldn't exist? Or do I just deliver the perfect footage and say nothing? In the end, we deliver. The clients cry happy tears, tip generously, and never know a thing. Professionally, it's the right call. Personally, I don't know. Every time I see that 3rd card, I get the chills. It sits in our drawer like a cursed relic. Story 7. I'm not careless with my jewelry. I'm the opposite, actually. I'm one of those people who has a designated place for everything. Keys in the bowl by the door, sunglasses in the console of the car, rings in the little dish on my dresser. I don't trust myself otherwise. My wedding band and engagement ring are the 2 objects I guard the hardest. Expensive, sure, but also loaded with memories. My husband picked the band out with his mom, and the engagement ring has this tiny engraving inside. Always. Even my necklace, a plain gold chain, is tied to my grandmother. So when I take them off, I always know where they are. Except this one night. I was babysitting my cousin's kids overnight. The house was chaos, Legos on the floor, the baby refusing to sleep, me stretched thin and half exhausted. When it was finally quiet, I decided to crash on their couch. But I hate sleeping with jewelry on. The rings dig into my skin, the necklace pulls, and I can't relax. So I unlatched the necklace, slipped off the rings, and tucked all 3 into the small front pocket of my backpack. Not the big main one where you keep books, not the laptop sleeve, but the tiny, tight front compartment. I remember the way the zipper scraped when I pulled it shut. I even patted the pocket, reassuring myself. Done. Safe. Next morning I get home. I unzip the pocket to put my jewelry back on. Empty. Completely fucking empty. At first I think I'm looking in the wrong pocket. I unzip the big one. Nothing. The side ones. Nothing. I shake the whole bag upside down over my bed like a piñata. Nothing but pens and lint. Now I'm panicking. I call my cousin, ask if maybe I'd taken them out and left them on her counter. She checks everywhere, bathroom sink, kitchen table, couch cushions. Nothing. She even gets the kids to help, which of course just means they run around yelling, treasure hunt. But nothing turns up. I go through my bag again, slower this time. The pocket is small, shallow, barely big enough for a wallet. I push my fingers along the seams, check for holes. Nothing. It's just gone. My rings, my necklace, poof. I cry. I'm not proud, but I do. I sit there on my bed sobbing into my stupid backpack, because those pieces aren't just shiny things. They're my marriage, my memories, my grandmother. Gone in one careless night. Days turn into weeks. I keep checking anyway, like maybe they'll show up if I just unzip enough times. The bag becomes suspicious, like it's mocking me. I still use it. It's my main backpack, but every time I reach for the front pocket, it's empty. I get used to wearing only my plain silver band. I tell myself I'll get replacements someday, even though it feels wrong. Months pass. Maybe a year. The bag travels with me, airport security, commutes, errands. I go through TSA 3 separate times, and no metal detector beeps for hidden jewelry. I dump the bag at work, shake it upside down out of habit. Still nothing. The pocket becomes this haunted space I avoid, because opening it just hurts. Then one night, my husband's packing for a road trip. He asks if he can borrow my backpack, because it's lighter than his duffel. I say sure. I unzip the front pocket to clear out gum wrappers and receipts, and there they are, sitting neatly inside, like they'd never left. My engagement ring, my wedding band, my grandmother's necklace. I swear, I almost screamed. My breath caught like someone punched me. I reached in with shaking fingers and pulled them out. The rings clinked against each other. The necklace's clasp dug into my palm. Real. Tangible. Cold metal that had been missing for nearly a year, now just there. I call my husband in. He stares, confused. "Where did you find those?" he asks. "In the backpack pocket," I say. He frowns. "The one you emptied 100 times?" I nod. He doesn't say anything else. Just looks at me with this unsettled expression, like he doesn't want to ask the next question. Because here's the thing, that pocket wasn't just checked once. It was checked dozens of times. Upside down, inside out, with a flashlight, with my cousin, with airport security. And for months it was empty. Then suddenly it wasn't. And it wasn't like they came back dirty or damaged. They were exactly how I'd left them. Same tiny engraving. Same chain kink. No scratches, no sign they'd been lost in the world. Just like they'd been waiting in some hidden dimension until they decided to drop back in. I slid the rings back onto my finger, and they fit like no time had passed. But instead of joy, I felt this weird chill. Like I'd been gaslit by reality itself. Like the universe had taken something precious from me, let me grieve it, then tossed it back months later with a shrug. For a while, I didn't know what to do. Part of me wanted to keep wearing them, to celebrate their return. Another part of me wanted to lock them in a box and never touch them again, because who's to say they won't vanish again tomorrow? In the end, I compromised. I wear them, but I also changed my ritual. I don't trust that front pocket anymore. I don't trust any pocket. Now, when I take them off, I place them in a ceramic dish on my dresser, always in the same spot. And sometimes, before bed, I touch them with my finger just to make sure they're still there, like a nervous tick.